Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say go so, the remix.
DMB, Tuck Spice, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the train station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt the sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model and she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes are killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl.
Body me LP, oh yeah,
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty, I'm impressed. And I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk. She must be from the planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty, I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. The most beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look,
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace up with presents and gifts. Call me Santa. Claus, I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me ass and culture, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing
I be missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. Yes, we're live on a Wednesday night. That has not happened in a while. Oh, we're back. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. Let me do some quick shout out to some of my people, my personal persons. What's going on, Natu? What's going on, Latu? What's going on, D Love? Welcome. All right, I appreciate you. What's going on? Issa more. I know exactly where you are now, so I'll keep it Issa more. Hello. Welcome. All right. Yeah, we're gonna do some live coaching today. I wasn't thinking about, like, of course, I was gonna take over, as you normally tape in the evening. But I was, I just in the backstage, I said, hey, should I go live or And Natu was like, yes, let's do it. And so I'm here because of Natu, but the rest of the view can benefit from it, So welcome back. Like I said, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, put notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. Film Gal, Open Floor by T-Mark, Goris Corner, D-Love, 3000s. D-Love, good to see you. Yes TV, shout out to you all, I appreciate you. You can sponsor the show for as low as 99 cents. Right now, this month our goal was $200. On the 10th day, we're already up to $71.68. So thank you so much for watching, sharing, liking, donating, all of that. It goes a long way in helping us continue to push the message along. Awesome. Great. I appreciate you all. All right, so like I said, hit the like button, share, subscribe. We'll come here, we talk about life and relationship lessons, but we leverage trendy topics to extract some of these lessons. All right, that way we're able to get some attention, okay? Because this time and age, everybody just want to catch cruise until they're inside of poto. They catch cruise until they're inside of poto. My audio is shaky. I wonder why. Let me check myself. Oh, you know what? I might be on the wrong audio. Let's see. No, I'm on the right audio. I think I should be fine now. I moved the microphone closer to myself. Is that better? Okay, it's good. All right, sorry about that. All right, so thank you for that, for letting me know, Natu. I appreciate you. All right, so Chinye says, I'll be in the background as I'm working out in the gym. Awesome. I love to hear that. Everybody should be working out. All right, everybody should be working out. All right, good. So I have got a few topics I want to cover today, but as usual, whatever I cover is going to be about lessons, rubbing minds together, improving ourselves, building our relationships, building our life. That's what it's about. All right. So my angle is quite unique. Always, my angle is always from a self. Always self leads with self. Listen, you can't do anything outside of self. Okay, the rest of it, they will be all right. That's some of the things that's very hard for my clients to really understand. It's I come up as a broken record. But really self everything. So self, power, social, seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence, and those are the standpoint we attack these conversations from. Everything else, we charge that to the game. Okay, we try not to worry about it. We all come from a place where we are obsessed with the past. We're obsessed with the future. We're obsessed with everything that should be the way it's supposed to be, the way you were raised. But the reality is that you're not having those things anyway, you know. And your best chances of having those things, which they are usually beautiful, either we're talking about husband, we're talking about wives, we're talking about children, we're talking about your loved ones, we're talking about all of these things or people, they're not interested in you if you're not taking care of yourself. Okay? They're not. They don't say it out in words, but you can just look at that behavior and that should tell you everything. So you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself. And that's the angle we come from. We do have the books. You can download the books. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Don't play me. Don't play. Okay? Hit the like button. You can download the books. They're absolutely free. There are 2 relationship books there. We have some other business ones, but you have this one. Get My Marriage Back. You see, they're heavy. Now I'm dropping them. And number 1 red flag. Those books are available everywhere, but you can get them for free at manofprestige.com. All right. And of course, you can get the merch. You can also contact me. I do offer coaching and counseling. We do offer coaching and counseling. Okay. So it's myself and my wife. And so if you're interested in that, you can hit us up at ask@manofprestige.com. You can also WhatsApp message. All right, and keep in mind that it's not free, okay, but it's very affordable. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Okay. If you think working on yourself and subsequently your relationships is expensive, ask those that are dealing with falling apart marriages, relationships. It's not fun. Okay, it's not fun. And what we know today is that a lot of people are coming up with all kind of formulas that are clearly not working. Okay? Those formulas are not working. All right, they're not working. Just look around you. You know, and we'll talk about some of them today. So you can send us a WhatsApp text. Okay. All right, good. So let's get into it. We have some other conversations I want us to talk about today. Let me see this. The first thing I want to tackle. Let me just look at my list real quick. I'm just here to catch cruise. I'm here to catch cruise. Let's not overthink all of this. So just here for cruise. All right, good. I see what we'll tackle first. We'll get to it. No big deal. All right, I'll be back in about. I'll be back in time in 20 seconds.
It's your love that I've been missing. I saw your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the coaching. I'm living up with a
Did you say the audio again? Let's see. All right, I did hear. All right, come on, audio. Can you hear me? It's crazy. All right, can you hear me now? Is it better? Almost sounds like I could barely hear it too. Let me see. I'm alright. I don't like alright. Let's see what's going on. Can you hear me now? Is it better? Okay, it should be better. It should be better now. I don't know what's going on. These things are never perfect. All right, so let's see. All right, I came live impromptu, so maybe that's why. Let's blame it on that. I'll be back in 20 seconds.
it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right. So we do have this thing here. Of course, as usual, we hang out on Instablog Nigeria a lot. Shout out to Instablog Nigeria. There's this post here. Let's just warm up with this one small. It says, marriage, your husband comes before your kids. Do you guys agree with this, by the way? Your husband comes before your kids? Do you guys agree with this? So the reason why I picked this first, I wanted to see what the comments are saying about this. Okay, husband, some Brit Will said, husband definitely come before kids. That's really not a debate. I can hear some people right now, they say maybe some members of the 4B or 4G, what was it that you guys were talking about in the group earlier on? They were like, what, right? They're like Ruth Abokoku. Do you guys agree in the chat? Do you agree with this at all? Let me gauge you now first before I continue. You agree that the husband definitely come before the kids? Come on, let's get some response. Let's get going. If you think the husband comes before the kid, put a 1 in the chat. If you think nah, it's 2. If you think depends, put a 3. I'll give you another option. If you think depends, put a 3 in the chat. Be honest with yourself, please. Be honest with yourself. Put a 1 in the chat if you think yes. This is the question right here on the screen. Husband definitely come before kids. That's really not a debate. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't agree. Put a 3 in the chat if you think it depends. Hit the like button. Don't play me. I came live for all of you now, not just not to. Dilo say, I think it's 2 for me. Yeah, ouch. Chiye say, absolutely true. Husband first then. So Chiye disagrees with D-Love already. Okay, Natu says 1. It's 2 against 1 right now. D-Love is still on Oyo. Okay, what's going on here? All right, so let's see if we can get some more. Listen, hit the like button. I beg, hit the like button. Let's see if we can pump the algorithms for 8 p.m. in the evening. If we can do that, I'll do more of 8 p.m. Okay. All right, but let's keep it. Let me go into what they're saying on this comment area. All right, and then we'll take it from there. This is how we're going to learn from this today. Somebody say a good husband comes before the kids. If you're a bad husband, then my enemies comes before you. Jesus, these people vicious. Yeah. Anyway, remember somebody, I forgot, I don't know who that person was. I can't really see the person's name. That person was in our backstage earlier on, and we were talking something similar. The person, I don't know if it's a she or he actually, the person was talking that we need to be proactive in certain topics. And I was kind of like, what if you bring the proactive angle into this? Would that change your mind? Latu and D-Love. Latu says 3. Okay. What if we add the proactive to it and remove the reactive? Would that change your mind? If you're being proactive, if you are being intentional. After all of you now like intentionality, right? Only when it suits you, right? Let me warm up my legs here. My space heater needs to come on here. It's not yet summertime for me. All right, so let's see here. Another person said, my husband and I are one. Our kids come before us. Another angle. Stop the cap. Another angle. This person said the kids come before me and my husband. Stop the cap. Yeah, all right. This person said, my kids come before my man. They are my responsibility. They are young and helpless. My man is a full-grown human. Another angle. Yeah. Pressure. What?
Everything I do, I will. Pressure to what?
Pressure to wow. Another person said, my kids before husband. Hit this button. There's 209 people hit the button. Okay, that's and there's, but the other one that says my kids, let me show you guys so you guys can see it bigger, so it's not just me reading. Okay, the other person here says, let's see, my kids comes before my husband. They are my responsibility. They are young and helpless. My man is a full-grown man. So all of that is common sense, right? So what happens when somebody speaks from a place of common sense? They have a majority mass. We say yes, 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 yes. But the same majority mass, they also end up in divorce. All right, so let's keep it. We're talking about what works in reality, right? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about what makes us feel good or what soothes our feelings. You know, wait till Auntie B is awake because she's part of us for now. Auntie B, how far now? How you doing? I hope you're enjoying yourself. That's good to see you here. D-Love says, men plenty now. Kids are kids no matter what age and they need us. D-Love, stop the cap. D-Love, here's another one for you. For you and that person that received like 1,400 likes on that place, right?
We go explain because no evidence. Anyway,
somebody said, let's see, maybe we get the lesson inside these chats today. If you prioritize your kids over your husband, then don't blame your husband for prioritizing his mom over you. Allow him love his mom and have his mom love him too while you love your kids. Your kids will love you too. That's a man clearly talking. Okay, it's always a bad idea for men to compete with women in these types of conversations. So,
Halfway.
No. Could it work? I'm gonna have to tell him stop the cap. Okay, not stop the cap, but like, come on, man, like stop. We don't compete with women. Okay, we don't. Just like women are obviously telling you they won't be competing with their kids right now. We don't compete with women. That's why you're a man. Okay, we don't say, hey, since you did this too, me too, I'm going to do that too. That's a bad move. That's always a bad move in your marriage, in your relationship. Don't do it. You are required to have a lot more patience. A lot more is expected of you, required of you. Why? Because you want to be a leader, don't you? And so don't argue with your destiny. Let me see. Let's say very true, but some of you would disagree because you are in a bad marriage. Ouch. Stray bullet. Jesus Christ. Stray bullet. Kò ní kàn ẹ́ o. Tó bá ti kàn ẹ́ rí, kò ní kàn ẹ́ rí mọ́. Àbí kò ní kàn ẹ́ mọ́ rí. Àbí kò ní kàn ẹ́ mọ́ ever again. Something like that. Okay. It will not be your portion in Jesus' name ever again if it has been your portion before. Okay. And if it's never been your portion, it will not be your portion. Okay. But that was straight bullets. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. That person has a verified page. Eesh. Chioma. That was harsh. Easy. This person said, a very good man. Yes. Okay. A very good man. Yes. These kids will grow up and leave you. Now you and your husband go still day. Okay. So this person is like that. I will agree to this side, you know. So that's the second time somebody will say that. And I get the logic. Okay. I get the logic completely. I get it. Auntie Bini, I'm trying. Well done. I know you're tired too. Because you guys don't know how to do vacation without walking around and shopping. Struggle. I hope you are resting well, Sha. This person said, I can never be in that space where I have to pick one. Let us all face it. My kids and their daddy come together. Nobody comes before another. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, oh. I get to a camera.
We go explain because no evidence.
What's a vacation without shopping, especially in America? I understand. Me, I'll go on a vacation. I will not shop. In fact, don't let me leave it at that. Okay, I have to deliberately put on my calendar to make sure I buy something. and take something back home to the people we left at home, like the kids and stuff like that. Me, I can go on vacation and just sleep and enjoy my life sleeping. Anyway, ayato sirajo. Anyway, so no, that person is explaining, and that person go explain tired. I can never be in that space where I have to pick one. Let me tell you something about life, ladies and gentlemen. If you're an adult, especially if you're a man, there's something called priority in life. Okay, why do you have to have this at the back of your mind in case of situations where you are faced with crisis? Most of us are not trained to expect crisis. Most of us are not trained to just accept that crisis is an inevitable part of life. So we say, it shall not be my portion in Jesus' name. You might say, my marriage will succeed in Jesus' name. Anytime a marriage fails, what do you see in the chat? My marriage will succeed in Jesus' name. We're never proactive, okay? So now if you're being proactive with regards to knowing that crises do happen in life, in which case sometimes some things will be a priority. You find yourself in situations where you have to prioritize some things over the other. Why would you ever need to do that? Because if you prioritize properly, you actually end up taking care of everything. You deliver more value. Let me come back from the professional standpoint. When you prioritize properly in life, you end up delivering more value to yourself because you know how to prioritize. Because the reality in life is that you cannot have your cake and eat it too. Sometimes you have to make a choice. That's when people say, never settle for less. You're like, settle for less or settle down? Which one? Because at the end of the day, settle for less is not always a lose-lose. Settle for less is actually the way you win in life. Sometimes, okay? Now, I get it. Settle for less means you know you deserve better, but you should just go for it. No, wait, listen. You're presented with multiple options. They're all good. They're all enticing. And then you're like, right? And if you don't know how to set certain things in priority, you will fail, okay? Or you will deliver much less value that you would have delivered to yourself if you know what you were doing. So there's a logic behind this at the end of the day, right? So I haven't given the answer yet. Why should you pick your husband over your kids? Or why should you pick your kids over your husband? Or let me say to the gentleman, why should you pick your mother over both your kids and your wife? Or why should you not do something that's stupid? It's a big conversation. I know it's kind of complex for a lot of people, but it's a lot of shalaye here. Even myself, I go shalaye.
Explain, because no evidence.
Many marriages don't work because when the kids start coming, they start neglecting each other and focus only on the kids. Remember, we're going the proactive direction, intentionality. Talking about it's nothing like having you guys as the audience. It's nothing like it. This person says that person made a good point. Okay, when crisis happens, the first thing you want to do is neglect your husband. You tell them they can go and buy. Okay, I have clients saying right now that you can go and buy and just live my life right now because they are tired, they are frustrated, right? Because they're in the middle of crisis, so they are running their mouth because it's soothing a temporary feeling, but it's not really helping. It's funky, it's painful, whatever they're going through, right? So when this type of things present itself, when you're caught up, because you never really nurture certain principles as it's a given. Wherever I find myself, I should always understand this is how it goes. Case in point. No, not case in point. Never mind. Let me leave that alone. Let's say, for example, okay, for example, let's even say even this is an ex-wife, ex-husband. Guess what? Even if it's an ex-husband, ex-wife,
He shock you.
for the greater good of your own self, if that's the actual parent of your children, they have to come first, so you don't hurt your kids. They have to come first. Coming first does not mean that, I know everybody think of it as you're putting them on this pedestal, you're worshiping them. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about real life. You have responsibility as an adult, right? And there are certain things that that have to fall in place for the betterment of your kids, which means also indirectly you, right? All right. And if you end up in argument all the time with your ex too, how beneficial is that for you and your kids? Just think about it. Use logic. Use logic, right? So in life, some decisions are very tough to make. When you're caught up in your emotions, I get it. Naturally, you want to come from a place of emotions. But you got to be careful with that. That's why you want to learn these things before you find yourself in crisis. And if you already found yourself in crisis, it's never too late to learn these things. Okay? Let's see here. Somebody said, Michael. I think I know who Michael is. I'm not sure. Let me see. Yeah, I think I know him. Yeah. It said, if your marriage come before your spouse, there is most likely a problem in the marriage. So it's already the reality. So it's natural for you to think that way. But he said it's a red flag. Absolutely a red flag. There you go. You get it? You get it? No?
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
A good husband comes before the kids. When you start to put the good, because that's like the third or fourth person that will say that. When you start to differentiate it good or bad, it's still you're reactive. You're reacting to past bad experiences, and you can potentially hurt yourself from that standpoint. Okay? So remember intentionality with respect to emotional intelligence, right? You understand that you feel how you feel. You respect it, but you know that it's not necessarily beneficial for you, right? So you move accordingly so you don't hurt yourself in the middle of your emotions, right? It's a lot of self-talk, but just self-awareness, okay? Self-awareness. So don't put good or bad. Don't even worry about that. Like, leave that good or bad thing. That good or bad thing is you still on the fence, and you're trying to discern by yourself from the wrong direction. You need to be a little bit more proactive, understanding human emotions, right? See, your kids. Shout out to everybody that was on the last session. We learned that manipulation is not a crime. It's something that we all do when we want to get our way, when we want to appease ourselves in the middle of a funky emotion. We try to manipulate. We use side talks, condescending talks, sarcastic talking point. You say it's because of the kids, but it's really just cap. You're just lying to yourselves. It's just your way of trying to hurt the person that might have hurt you. You want them to feel the same pain as you are feeling.
Stop the cap.
I get it. I understand it. You too, you should get it and understand it. Have some self-awareness around it and adjust yourself and say, okay, how I feel right now. If I act like this, I might end up hurting myself. All right. So this person said a good husband comes with. So try not to put that good or bad thing. Okay. At the end of the day, if you married a bad person, that makes your relationship bad. Are you going to take responsibility for changing the direction of that? Because you absolutely have the power to do that. You just have to learn how to. It's a skill set. All right. So this person, your wife is supposed to come before your kids and your husband before your kids. That's a united front. It's about unity. There's only one secret to successful marriage in this life. Unity. It's a moving target. So as simple as it sounds, of course, it's easier said than done. The one goal, the one thing you're charged with. Either you're in a funky place, you can't stand that person right now, you fell out of love, you hate that person right now, and hate is a strong word, but that's how strongly you feel when it's happening. I know how you feel, right? But there's only one goal at any point in time. Unity. Be on the same page, have a united front, because a house divided against itself cannot stand. Listen, I've done more than enough shalaye on this one, right? I don't know how to convince you. You have to keep pouring into each other so you can actually stand for your kids. Good point. Let's see what Mary Emi Njoku, an actress, has to say. She said if he prioritizes you over his children, if not, No deceive yourself, my sister. All right, that's another fence talk. Auntie.
Stop the cap.
She is married, but that's a fence talk. You will see a lot of married people tell you a lot of fence talk, stuff like that. Leave just a little room, just in case. Then you're trying to play a game with the person on your team and you're playing it half-ass. What do you think is going to happen? You will lose. You already lost. Okay? And remember, we're coming from a standpoint of being proactive, and especially if kids are involved. Obviously, kids are involved. That's why we're having this conversation, right? When you pick your spouse as priority over your kids, you are by default picking your kids as well. When you pick your kids over your spouse, you're creating a division. And the devil will come rushing right through it. Like, undefeated, okay? Happens all the time. You need more examples, I'll continue to point them out, okay? But literally, that's how it happens. The devil uses who? Una, like OHNA. The devil uses you and your children to come right through those walls. If the house is divided against itself, how can it stand? Is that not the scriptures? It cannot stand now. She said marriage in her contract. This is a married woman saying this. She's going to advise other people. Dangerous. Dangerous. Oh, dangerous. So dangerous. Oh, dangerous. It's a dangerous angle. If it's too bad, let me give you this, okay? If it's that bad and you feel like you must pick your kids, how about pick yourself? It's because you're in a funky place, you've lost yourself inside of a marriage, and you're confused, and you're confused. Like, it just means you've lost yourself. If you're in a place where you have to pick your kids over your husband, you've lost yourself. You've lost yourself. You've done a terrible job in recent times of giving to yourself. That's why. And I will always ask you to pick yourself. If you have to pick between you and your spouse, pick yourself over your spouse. If it's that funky that you feel the need to pick your kids over your spouse. We're talking about priorities. All of this looks enticing. All of these options that make sense on paper looks enticing, right? But think about where you're coming from. Observe where you're coming from. Self-reflection, self-awareness. Where are you coming from? Are you coming from a place of pain? So naturally, you're thinking that it just makes sense. After all, you don't collect wutu from her. So your kids and your mother should come first.
Everything I do, I will.
If you're still living with that person, you're shooting yourself on the legs.
I never expected it.
Yep, you're shooting yourself on the legs if you're still living with that person. Shout out to Brother Ben. Brother Ben said, preach on MOP. How you doing? How about everyone comes first? Wife, husband, children, without prioritizing one over the other. Yeah, when there's no crisis, yes. But in life there will be crisis. We're talking about the skill sets you need. The majority of the skill sets you need to have a successful marriage is how do you handle crisis, conflict, when it's not beautiful, when it is not nice, when you don't feel like picking anybody, even yourself, when you can't even stand yourself because you're questioning your choices. How did you end up picking such a terrible crazy man, right? You're dealing with guilt trips all over the place. A lot of time it's guilt trip that's affecting you. That's how you're shooting yourself on the legs. We're talking about in that space, right? If this was an enterprise in real life world, we don't say, oh, let's just pick everybody. No, you compete against the devil and you win. You make sure you win, right? How do you do that? You make sure that everybody in the team is on the same page. Unity, a united front. That's what you do, regardless of how you feel about them. Adapt. You might even be on the brink of firing one of them right now, but you say, hey, no, don't fire. We need him right now. Join the force, right? As opposed to fighting that person that's supposed to be on your team. Okay? If everything was perfect in real life, what we would do is very simple. Very simple, right? Make sure you love each other. You know those advice that everybody gives us. Make sure you're loving each other. Love on each other. take each other out on a date on a daily basis, like a right? All those beautiful things, right? But we're talking about when the majority of the things that's really destroying families is people are not prepared for that moment when they don't feel like loving each other. Okay, and what do they do? Like the other person said earlier on, one of the first thing they do is they come up with an idea, a formula. Let me pour all the love into my kids. Subsequently hurt the kids even more, hurt the family even more. If you have kids with that person, unless they're a criminal, they are family for the rest of your life. I know you don't want to hear that right now too. Jesus Christ, why are you doing this to me, Ola? I know. But actually, when you embrace that, you create a better chance for you to have even a better life as you move forward in life. And that person can be ex if that's what you want. But you will create a better chance for having a beautiful life as you move forward, because you won't have all of these remnants of past hurt and stuff like that disturbing your future. Okay? It's very difficult. I understand. It's easier said than done. But again, who else is going to tell you if not here? Who else, right? Even we have a whole married woman here telling you that, you better prioritize your life. Auntie, I don't know what you're talking about. Even logically, it doesn't align. It doesn't align. If you're in a funky place, you need to talk to a therapist, talk to a wise counsel, something like that, before this can make sense to you. Remember what I said. If you really feel like you have to make that kind of choice and you're like, no, that only makes sense, it simply means an indication that you haven't taken care of yourself. Okay? Pour all that love back into yourself until you're in a healthy place mentally, and you will understand that, hey, if I've got a baby mother, an ex-wife, or how much more my wife that's still in my house, then they come first. Why? Because that's precisely how I pour even more into the kids. That's how you pour more into those kids. Okay? Because when they have that balanced perspective, they feel even more love, right? And the other way around, there's only so much you can do. One tree does not make a forest. Don't hurt yourself. Anyway, that's what I have to say about that. If you're watching this on a replay later on, I would like to hear your opinion on this. But there's some more myths that I want to bust tonight. All right, do me a favor, Brother Ben. Hopefully, I answered your question. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. I'll be back in about 20 seconds.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. Let's talk about Auntie Iyabo Ojo. Auntie Iyabo Ojo. All right, so you know the whole saga over the past few days that's happened recently with the unfortunate announcement from the weird announcement from that we all didn't like, just the existence of the announcement from AY Comedy and the wife Mabel Comedy, I guess, Mabel Makun, right? You know that announcement that they are now going their separate ways. Obviously, as of yesterday, we saw also the wife has confirmed it that they are going their separate ways, sadly. So a lot of people were responding to it on social media, but we had one person that came and responded to it, and that's the Nollywood actress Auntie Iyabo Ojo. She's presently dating, I don't know what they're in. She said companionship and relationship with a music executive, Paul Okoye Ogapolo, right? And she came and made some points on this, and I want us to assess it together. This is our response to, I guess, the news of divorce and stuff like that. Now, somebody is going to, before I say what I want to say, I say, oh, she has the right to say what she said. Absolutely. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. Can I now get back to my topic? Thank you. Aha. So you can see here, she said, marriage with a big old X mark on marriage. She said soulmate plus companionship, and she put big old check mark right next to them. Okay, and then she went on to continue. Let me see here. She put on, let's see, she said marriage done, dusted. Okay, so she's a divorcee from a while back. Had kids, done, dusted. Been there, done that, essentially. Raised my kids, done, dusted. They are now adults. She's done. Okay. And then next stage, enjoyment. And then she goes, hashtag forever is the deal, to enjoy life to the fullest. Okay. All right. So that's beautiful that she feels that way. But let's get to it. Okay. I'm just going to look at some comments. Iyabo Ojo is living some Soromoto. Chuku says, Iyabo Ojo is living life on her own terms. I love it for her. Of course, if she loves it, we'll love it. All right. Another person says, why do I have the feeling they're gonna be done very soon? Ouch. Nene George. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Hish.
She what?
Kill I mean, auntie. Why are you predicting that for them? Well, predicting what exactly? Since she doesn't really want marriage. What do they have exactly? Right? Well, she said soulmate companionship. You know, maybe we're going to create another institution called Soulmate Plus Companionship. All right? What do you think about that? That would be fantastic. Another institution, optional. Marriage signed with the state, 2 people with a witness. Or as or soulmates. Soulmates is like, you can do it with as many people as you like. After all, there's no paperwork, so if you know work out, everybody shikena go their separate ways, right? Remember, this is a response, I think, because I don't know, ajekula no omokuleni. Ajekila no omokuleni tani omokwe aje no pomaje. Pardon me, you know, my Yoruba is, you know, is there. Anyway, she was responding to divorce that we all hate. Some people are always very quick to tell us that God hates divorce. Before, we hate divorce too. Are you mad? Why is that topic such a thing? I don't understand. We all hate divorce, including God. All right. Can you now get over yourself? Divorce happens sometimes. Sometimes it's a solution to a toxic relationship. If one person is already feeling like they are being abused, and you can't judge them. You know, they have the rest of their life ahead of themselves. But we all still don't like it, right? So it feels like death. And it feels like people have to mourn it. It's a lot of life that people have done together. So everybody feels the heat of it. So what do people do because of that? They get attacked with fear. If they don't feel solid in their situation or situationship, they get attacked with fear of so many things. Not just the marriage. What about the children? Where are the children going to be? Am I going to get stuck with the children all the time? Are we going to have to fight custody battle all the time? There's so much. It's not just a matter of women are just divorcing anyhow. No, that's stupid. If you ever say something like that, it doesn't add up. Nobody wants divorce, right? But it happens. So I can understand where people are responding with a very thick fear. So they come up with a cookie cutter, very quick formula, like things like, just forget this marriage thing. Let's do soulmate plus companionship, right? So it's another formula. As you can see, she put a plus sign. It's mathematics as far as she's concerned. It's common sense. Let's continue. But we're going to dissect this. Let's talk about it, okay? Somebody said their kids are all grown and above legal age. If that's the route they both choose, okay, here's the problem with the both thing. The both thing is cute and nice. When we say like, both of y'all should love each other. You know, when you're going through problems in your family, they will call a family meeting on you. And they will now preach to the choir and say, both of you should love each other. And then you argue. And then you go back home and you continue the same funk. Am I lying or lying? I'm not lying. Am I telling the truth or the truth? That's exactly what happened. Family meetings, no, they work. Don't allow people to call family meetings on you if you're going through trouble in your marriage. It will get worse, okay? They will catch feelings. They will catch their own feelings. All these people that are supposed to be helping you, they will catch their own feelings and make the matters worse for you. Am I right or right? Right? Say, just do like this. That's exactly what happened. I know because I've been there, done that. If you haven't gotten the book, it's all in there. Get My Marriage Back. Okay, it's free on manofprestige.com. Okay, Don't allow anybody to call family meetings on you because one of you have run your mouth to your mother, your father, the side people, not side chick, but the side people, and now they say, let's help them out. Lori, they should go and help themselves first, including your parents. Parents, stay out of the way. I know you love them. Get the fuck out of the way if your children are going to something. Get out. Get out. Stop recommending all kind of nonsense for them from your, and then you catch your own feelings. You forget that your own children are involved. And then you completely forget about your grandchildren. Terrible, all types of terrible behavior coming from grandparents. Whenever they hear, so they will not take sides. They have no wisdom involved. Just because your child complained to you, you have no wisdom involved. You just want to take side. You think you help them, you make it worse for them. Anyway, sidetrack. So they bring all that. Both of you should, all those type of both of you should advise. They don't work. That's preaching to the choir. They already know what both they should do. And it did not work. Remember, they got married. They were having sex without you there. Use some wisdom. Anyway, if you collect stray bullet, you deserve it. Then it's the best for them. This person said their kids are all grown up and above legal age. If that's the route they both choose, the problem is that it's never the route both choose. It's like when people chop breakfast. They both decide to move. There's never both sides. Somebody serve the breakfast. Somebody served the breakfast. They might have said, okay, I have to move, I don't have a choice. But they didn't want it. But they didn't want you to kill them. So they also said, let me have my peace of mind. If she wants to move on or he wants to move on, let me just move on. Yeah. Then it's the best for them. Both them. These are all impossibilities. It's a dance. It's always a dance between two people. There's always legs that Omakora want. The legs that will cross. If you don't know what you're doing, your tango will not tango. It takes two to tango. It says woo. It's a dance. The legs are not moving simultaneously. They are moving into each other to create harmony. And if people have coconut head, it will not create harmony. So we take some of these talking points and run with it like it's the reality. It takes two to tango, so both of you should simultaneously come to the table. Have you ever seen that before in your life? You've never seen it. Why do you keep saying it? So then it's the best for them. Now, ideally, that will be correct. We don't live in an ideal world. We live in a real world. So it takes skills. You have to know what you're doing in order to tango. It doesn't take two. It takes two and two people that have the skills. Okay? Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Where's the cap? Where are you now?
Stop the cap.
We just like to deceive ourselves. When it sounds sweet into our ear, we just say it and just roll off our mouth like, I beg you. Let me see, Jerry. Let me come to the chat. Pardon me. Let me make sure who's in the chat. Chiye says fear of commitment causes all this soulmate companionship talk. Thank you. We're talking about fear. Fear can be a great motivator. In this respect, no, it's a terrible motivator. Not especially if people are looking up to you. Yeah? Where are you going?
To get something for mommy.
Okay. My son opening my door like 9 p.m. What the hell? Where are you going? Anyway, fear of commitment causes all the. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Marriage comes with soulmates, companionship, all combined. It's fear. The common denominator here is fear. Fear, rightfully so. Maybe you don't chop woto from a man or woman. I don't know. What? Maybe you've seen Shege somewhere. I understand. Okay. But don't you think it's a bad idea to continue to use that to hurt yourself? Don't you think you might need to heal and then learn the skills that you clearly did not have in the first place? Isn't that better than just to move in fear? Okay. Now, I don't know if Auntie Iyabo is moving in fear, but the people that are hailing this, they are relating for a reason, because there's a very strong emotion. and it feels like it solves a problem. No, it does not solve the problem. Okay, soulmate, companionship, kwekus, no kwekus, do it a separate way, go and do multiple. You still have to learn how to do relationship. You need the skill set. Okay, if there are two nations, they said they want to go to war, say let's negotiate. One has coconut head. He said no, you can't negotiate. Okay, good. The way to finish the war is still to negotiate, except that you would have created more damages. That's all. You still have to negotiate to finish the war. So that coconut will not serve you, it will hurt you. Sorry, that coconut head will not serve you, it will only hurt you. All right. D-Love says that sidetrack was very passionate. MOP, I know. I am very passionate about these things. I am, because I could see 20 years ahead of time of people sometimes, and I wish I could transplant so they can see what I see, and it's just very hard sometimes, you know. I have to be very patient with people because they're coming from also their own experiences. But I'm hoping that you catch one little small things here and there, and just know that you don't really control anything anyway. Like, you control a lot, and I want you to focus on the ones you control. Those other ones that's bothering you, that's making you have panic attacks, and then you're losing yourself, is because you're obsessed with things you cannot control. That's why. Okay, that's why. But yes, Auntie Iyabo is still talking. I mean, her and her fans are still talking. Then is the best for them. They are both phenomenal business people. Okay, so this person is talking about both of them and seem very happy and into each other. She hasn't stopped cheesing since they started dating. I like it for her and for him too. And this is what people say until one day they'll say, oh, we feel so sad for them. We're not proactive enough when it comes to our romantic relationships and marriages. We're not proactive enough, right? We just enjoy it when everything is sweet, and then we get angry when it goes sour, because we never really took the time to look at, hey, there's going to be a day, inevitably, we're not going to feel like we're friends. Are we prepared for those moments? No, we're never prepared for those moments. You're just in love, and it's going to be in love forever, right? So, of course, they look sweet and everything. So if she says anything that rolls off her tongue right now, you're like, oh, oops, rooting for her. Like, no, it's not even about her, right? Let's address the talking point here. Marriage? ? Cross out, right? What does marriage mean? And then she says soulmate and companionship, right? These are two things that just seems all emotionally driven. Anything that's emotionally driven, they're beautiful, they're lovely when it feels good, but they can't stand on their own. They're not sustainable. They go in and out. They are flaky. They're all over the place. It's messy. One day you feel it, the other day you don't feel it, right? Imagine if your whole life is run by people that say just soulmate, if it feels good and compare. Just imagine that. It's only when it feels good, right? Already, as we have structures and institutions around our lives, we still move mad, right? They tell you don't cross the red light, you cross the red light, or you speed, you overspeed, you catch tickets here and there. Already, even when you have those things in place, how much more when you don't have those things in place? What do you think that's going to look like? That's chaotic. Okay, and just because the red lights are not perfect, sometimes they are pedestrians that work, it doesn't mean you do. So you just say, hey, let's just move mad. No, we don't do that. We continue to make it better, right? So anyway, somebody said they're both married with grown kids, also established. They just need to be happy and enjoy life. God bless them. Again, fluffy emotional stuff, beautiful, but that's not how life works. You gotta have structures around these things so that they can actually be sustainable over a period of time. Somebody said that's the level we operate in now. Enjoyment. No, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Sorry, Auntie Iyabo, she does not know what she's talking about. Okay, now she has the right to jump on our big ass platform and say what she wants to say, but I think it's dangerous, and I'll tell you why in a second. At the end of the day, the heart wants what it wants. We create magic with every masterpiece. So everybody is fluffy right now. Somebody says, please live your life to the fullest. All right, I agree with all of this, by the way. They both want the same thing after experiencing marriage before. I don't agree with that. Okay, if I were to predict, I disagree. I don't know. But if I were to predict, I disagree. Okay, what I'll tell you, you know how I tell men that you don't really own her, right? Gentlemen, I want you to know that you don't really own your wife. You don't own your lady. That's just a fact of life. So you can cherish the moment you spend with her, take care of her, take care of that relationship, nurture that relationship. But if you move mad, she can decide, like AY's wife, to move forward tomorrow. There's no guarantee. It's just what it is. She's a bona fide human being in her own right, with her own autonomy, right? I say that. But now let's bring it down to emotional level. Every man, including the one that you want, ladies, want a sense of exclusivity. Okay? He does not want anything remotely close to his sharing you, not even with his kids. I know it sounds strange, okay? Not even with his kids. Okay? He will happily share you with his kids because it feels like a choice on his part. But if you start to feel like it's not a matter of choice, he feels like he's struggling for attention for between you and the kids, he will not be able to attack his kids, of course, because that's not his kids, but he will feel some type of way. He will feel some type of way. Natu, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. He will feel some type of way, and he will also feel the sense of guilt because like, why would I be jealous of my kids? He will start, but he will feel funny. He will just feel some kind of funky way, and it will show in his way, the way he moved around. You will just be like, why is this guy cranky? He will not be able to pinpoint it himself unless you start to ask further questions, which you're not supposed to, because you're the wife. You will just be like, why is this one angry? I beg Jare or Raye nonsense, because you two, you are taking care of kids, right? But these are some of the issues that people are dealing with. Every man, okay, not every, obviously, almost all men, okay, want to feel a sense of exclusivity. They don't want you jumping on the internet talking about you never marry me. Jesus, I didn't plan to marry before, but why would you need to say that out so loud? I feel some type of way. You get it? Listen, if you don't get it, it's okay.
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it. All right.
But these are part of your seductive skills or seduction skills. These are things you don't say out loud. It might actually be your reality. It might be some of the things that you're actually enjoying. Nobody is talking about it, but you're enjoying a good time together. But there's certain things you don't say out loud. It's lack of social intelligence. Right? Okay. Once you say that, a person that was not even thinking about marriage before, because he feels some type of way, is now confused.
Everything I do, I will.
Now, God helps you if he's mature enough. Say, no big deal. But if he do that, no big deal. Don't be surprised too if he has other quakus that is rubbing mind sweets together and is mixing. He probably already does that. But even if he does that, right? I don't think it's necessary to jump on the internet to say marriage. You don't have to do any of this stuff. You don't have to do marriage. You don't have to have kids. You don't have to. But I just think more so than ever before, we talk too much. We talk too much. Gentlemen, especially you, talking way too much. Jesus Christ. Let's continue. Somebody said they both want the same thing after experiencing marriage before. Pocket your opinion, you hear. Accept your own opinion, Abi. No be juju be that. Wait, where is it?
No be juju be that.
Right. Let's see here. Let me see. All right, so we have and that person said, okay, you people know this and know peace. Marriage is a beautiful thing. Cheers. That person is just like, if you don't get it, forget about it. But you know, so I know it's hard to say that when AY just announced and they're going their separate ways, right? It makes you want to argue, like, what are you talking about? After all this marriage stuff, no be divorce, they happen every day. I know. But we're not really addressing the issues, and here's the reality. Auntie Iyabo will marry that man tomorrow in a heartbeat if it precisely if it feels right. She will. The only reason why she will say something like this is because he's not really asking her hand in marriage right now, and they're probably enjoying for real, just traveling around the world. But if it's a situation where he's like, no, I know we don't have to rush, but I want to marry you, of course, she will not say that. And if she's saying that, and he's actually saying that he wants to marry her, think about what that will make him feel like. He'll make him feel like, oh, that's what it is, right? And the worst part about that is, if it's a man of a certain type of ego, he won't want to share exactly how he feels, because hey, if you feel how you feel, I don't want to bother you, I don't want to pressurize you or anything like that. Yeah, I guess she doesn't want to marry, right? But it'll make you feel some type of way. Now we have options just in case she wakes up one day. After all, there's no commitment written down anywhere. There's no commitment written down anywhere, right? But waking up and say not marrying you, she didn't say exactly that. Okay, so I don't want to put words in her mouth. What she said is marriage, soulmate and companionship. Like, you don't want marriage, but you want me as soulmate, huh?
You doing what?
You don't want you want me as soulmate? Do you have another soulmate or something? It will create confusion. I get where she's coming from, and I'm just letting you know that this is an example of lack of social intelligence. You know, things that you're not necessarily wrong about, but it creates a bad optic. It can make people, especially your loved one, feel a certain type of way. It's not like they feel bad, it's not that they feel good. They don't know what they're feeling, they're confused, and the product of that is just not good, because you're not going to enjoy them long term, especially, right? Somebody said Paulo posted it before Iyabo posted it, so rest in Jesus' name. Let's find out. Maybe he did. I always like to self-correct in the moment too. Oga Paulo, let's see if Oga Paulo posted it. Because if he posted it, guess what? The same thing would be true. Maybe they're just deceiving themselves. All right, but what I'm telling you right now is that everybody, let's see. Okay, I don't see anything else. So, okay, so Gapolo posted this, okay, 20 hours ago. So maybe that person is correct, right? Marriage, no. So companionship. Now, let's course correct a little bit here. Let's say they sat down on a bed. They're on vacation, as they're always on a vacation, right? And oh yeah, he did post it. Oh, sorry, I wanted to show you guys. Let me see. Let me show it to you guys. Ogapolo, this is Ogapolo right here. He posted it just to make sure we correct this while we're live. Where is it now? Oh, okay. It's going through now. All right, let's see. Marriage. So he posted it, right? So they sat down on the bed and said, all these people, you know, they're gisting and they're like, all these people always doing this marriage. Why are they pressurizing themselves and all this kind of stuff? Yes, cool. So that's good for them, like the other people have been saying. But like I'm saying, ultimately, we all want some sense of exclusivity. That's what comes with this package, right? And oftentimes what we fear, we end up attracting. That's the point I'm trying to make here. What we fear, we end up attracting. I would definitely say, hey, just reduce how much you're posting on the internet when it comes to a lot of these strong opinions. Somebody else said, okay, so they said we should rest in Jesus' name. Not yet, hold on. We're thinking alike. Marriage is a big no for me. Let's try companionship and respect. There's nothing, the idea of fear of marriage is very simple. You're afraid of losing your freedom. Listen, we can't knock you for that. We can't argue with you on that, especially where there's divorce everywhere, right? So it makes sense to have that fear, okay? So, but when we come up with this kind of solution, what is the other downside that we're not paying attention to? Because these solutions, they are cookie cutter. The stuff you make up immediately in your brain, emotionally. Hey, I got married at 25 and I didn't enjoy from 25 to 35. So I'm going to tell my daughter, don't get married until you're 45. Right? When we come up with solutions in that way, you create problems that you haven't really sat down and put together. You haven't really thought about the problems. So when you sit down in the boardroom and you come up with a solution in your enterprise level type of conversations, what do? They do what they call the SWOT analysis sometimes, right? You do the strength of whatever this solution looks beautiful. It already looks enticing, right? So there's no question about that. But your boss and the corporate settings and the business analyst, all of this would say, oh, but hold on, wait, right? Let's do some assessment here, right? Let's do some impact analysis before we roll this out into our lives or into my children's lives, right? So let's strength, weakness. What is the strength? What is the weakness of, what is the strength? So there's a new solution. What's the strength? What's the weakness? What are the opportunities? What are the threats? And what do we do when it comes to marriage and relationship? It just feels good. The same way it felt good when you married that person with no papers. You didn't learn anything. You just went down the county. I was talking to Ben earlier. I said it's $26 to get married in my city. He said it's $60. I said, okay, it's less than $100 to get married, right? They don't test you, nothing. You just need a witness. All that rest of it you do is senene. That's your senene, okay? But you don't learn anything, right? So now you end up in a funk. Guess what you do next again? You come up with a very mathematical off of your emotions formula. You don't really assess it. It just sounds good. He said, let's roll it out, not just to myself, but everybody that can listen to me, all 21 million monitoring spirits. Just copy and paste this. That's what we do. So soulmate sounds beautiful. Like, now, if you're any kind of man, right, that you have any kind of experience, you know that soulmate is cute, it's beautiful, it's a feeling. Okay? The reality is that there's more to successful marriage than having a soulmate, right? Soulmate is the after effect. It's what it feels like after you've done the work, right? It's not stuff that fall out of the skies just because it feels good in the moment when there's no crisis. The question is that what are you going to do when you find yourself in crisis? Are you going to come up with another emotionally driven formula? That's what they do for the most part. Somebody said, make your own money. Broke woman, no, they do, done and dusted. Lobaton, another hangu. Anika shama do arawa lodunju were. Anika shama do arawa lodunju. Enjoyment, one wound, freedom. All right. So again, it's fear of losing your freedom. That's what this is about. Okay. Even if it's both of them saying it, it's the fear of losing your freedom, right? But at the cost of what? Okay. At the detriment of who or what? Right? Have you done the assessment, or it just sounds good? Let's just do it, right? And if you know anything about life, when it feels good and that's just what you're following, it's probably a terrible idea. If you're not paying, you're probably not paying attention. It's good to feel good. I always combat happiness. When people combat happiness, they say, it's not about happiness. No, I want happiness too. But I want people to know that happiness does not fall out of the skies. There's some things that lead down to happiness. There's also beyond happiness, there's joy, there's everlasting joy. There's cruise beyond happiness, right? You want to get stuck at happiness and the other day you don't feel happy and you say, oh, it just doesn't make me feel happy. Like, okay, you understand that there's other things that lead to happiness, right? I love happiness and I don't allow anybody to tell you not to pursue happiness. I don't allow that. But I want you to understand that there's a lot of things behind the scenes that create happiness. So enjoyment, lodun, kasha madurawani. Really? That's how that works? We shall be here. Even those that marry. So, yeah, exactly. Even those that marry. So why not just do it? No, we're human beings and we need institutions and we need structure. We need masculine energy around this beautiful feminine energy that's rotating in all of us that we just want to enjoy. We need structure. We need varieties, but we need structure. Okay, so this idea, you just move mad, is a terrible idea. I think if that's where you are right now, don't roll that out to other vulnerable people who might need to learn from you. Because the reality is that no matter what you're trying to accomplish in life, there's always some type of structure. Always some type of structure. Let me see here. And someone said we shouldn't have an opinion when we haven't lived your life. That's like that's that do you thing. Nah, terrible. I think she actually said something like that eventually too. There you go. Yep. She said, queen of enjoyment, no compromise. My happiness is the ultimate deal, right? Listen, I can't argue with that. That's not what we're saying. I'm just expanding the conversation, okay? She said, this is me. Do you do what makes you happy and what works for you? That is a defensive statement. She already knows that some people are going to probably come. We're not going to do that. We're just expanding the conversation. It's absolutely unnecessary to drag her. That's where she is at, and she's enjoying that, and that feels good to her, and that's good for her. And obviously, also you can see that she copied it. I don't know if she copied. No, this is just Paulo's. This is Instablog Niger posting this from there. All right, let's see here. Let me see if okay. All right, now in that same breath, she posted this. She said, ladies, pray to God to give you a woman like Mohbad's mom as a mother-in-law. All right, let me see the rest of the table. Oh, okay, so it's Mohbad's mom's birthday, I guess. Young ladies, when you pray for a mother-in-law, pray God gives you someone like this woman who will stand by you and your children through thick and thin. You're indeed a rare one, and I know Mohbad will be so happy and proud of you in spirit for standing by and protecting his wife and son against all odds. Happy 50th birthday, Iyamo. May you never bury any of your children again. May God keep granting you the fortitude to bear your loss. May he give you a very long life in good health and riches to see your children's children grow up and do great and mighty things in life. Much love from me to you. Once again, I'm so deeply sorry I had to back down from Imole's case. It really hurts that Mohbad hasn't gotten justice yet and still hasn't been buried. But I know Mohbad will definitely receive justice because I strongly believe in the law of karma. Jesus Christ. The conversation continues. Let me come to the chat. Pardon my manners. Sorry. Let's pardon my manners. Sorry. What did you say exactly to Chinye? Paulo is smart. Make I know talk. All right. So Paulo is smart in terms of let her run her mouth. Me, I'll just be out in this street enjoying my life. Let me say it for you now. So maybe she's just jumping ahead like, hey, you want to do that? Okay, we all do like that. But, it's for life. Mama, majority of you are not going to be Paulo and Iyabo. That's all I'm saying. Okay. You need structure around your life. Okay. Not just you. Everyone does. Okay. But what kind of structure other people have around their life, you don't know. So when we are preaching that everybody should just live freely, make sure you understand the context they are coming from, okay, before you borrow that into your life and copy paste their own ideology into your life. They probably talk about it, and Paulo figure he stands to lose more if he dares marry. Possibly, yes. Possibly. But for the most part, I talk about emotional level things, right? At an emotional level, every man wants to, if he's investing any kind of resource, time, energy, money, resource in you, he wants to feel his feelings, a sense of exclusivity. So ultimately, he might just conclude and say, she can do whatever she wants. But I'm saying that feeling, like, what's the issue with marrying me? If it so happens that this is just all our idea. Because even when it comes to women, that's women, right? That means the thing of the idea of let me have two husbands. It's not it's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not authentic. It's not authentic. It's a lie. They're copying. Okay. So that's the funny thing about the having your cake and eat it too. Everybody wants to have their cake and eat it too at the same time, even if they want to participate in bad in bad behavior. Film girl, how you doing? How are you? She said joining from work, didn't know there was a live. Sorry, I will tag you next time. All right, welcome. Can you summarize for me? Let's take that to the backstage now. Summarize, okay. But Chiye will probably do it. She had talked about AY's wife response briefly. Then Ola asked if children should come first before husband. Now he's analyzing Iyabo Ojo, stating that she's done with marriage but down with soulmate and companionship. Did Polo say he wanted marriage? No, we don't know. That's a good question. If Polo had said he wanted marriage, would she say the same thing? That's a good question, film girl. She is ahead of me. Polo is saying the same thing Iyabo is saying. So he doesn't want marriage. Is that why she's saying the same thing? What are we trying to say here? Is she capping? Huh?
Stop the cap.
All right, we don't know. We just expanded the conversation. Humans are not your mate. Needs structure. Yes, we are very, very chaotic set of creatures. We need structure. We need institutions. That's what we call civilization. If there's a problem with institution, then we need to talk about what the problems are and continue to improve on it, not shatter it and destroy it. You don't do that with anything else. It's only marriage that people are suggesting to do that with. But hey, like Auntie Iyabo said, do you, okay? But if you know that you deserve better, talk to us, because there's a way, okay? There's a way. She might even change her mind on the future. Humans evolve. If Polo changes that, in fact, the fact that Polo said it first, it's probably even put a seal on it now. If Polo changes and say, no, I want to marry you, she will change mouth, okay? She will change mouth. That's just what it is. She will most likely change mouth, I should say that. Okay, so, but I just don't think it's necessary to share all that, you know. Let's see here. All right, so with this Mohbad's mother stuff, she said somebody said I reject button. Okay, so she's saying pray for this type of mother-in-law. And you have people saying I reject button. Why? What's wrong with Mohbad's mother? Jesus Christ. Someone said I will not pray to have a mother-in-law like anyone. I'll pray to God to give me a good mother-in-law. I know they tap into anybody's grace. I am not a tapper. Another angle. Somebody said waiting una dey cover go come out one day. Oh, so these are the supporters of Josie Baba Mohbad. This Iyabo and clout button. She's a superstar, rock star. She deserves to chase all the clouds that she needs to chase to continue to become a superstar. Happy no be juju be that. Were you sent by a village person? Birds of the same feather. Oh wow. What? Jesus Christ, people are singing proverbs here. Iyabo is one of the country problem. Wait, what? Am I missing something? Or this is just Mohbad's father supporters? What's going on here? What's wrong with this woman? She is a mother-in-law, a very good mother-in-law to Wumi, right? What are we missing here? The woman has displayed a lot of virtue since her son's demise. She's carried herself with admirable grace. Ain't nothing wrong with what Iyabo wrote. Well, some people feel differently. Everybody bashing Mo mom should give her a break. She was young when she had Mo. She seems calm and gentle. With the character Baba Mohbad displayed, he's a difficult man to contend with, and I'm sure most people bashing her can't cope with Baba Mohbad's personality. Mohbad loved his mother, and I'm sure he knew it wasn't her fault. Some men can be difficult. Well, I'm definitely subscribing to that man is a difficult. That man and Coconut Head are like 5 and 6. Let's not get it twisted. Okay, that's a fact. Everybody bash. Okay, your daughter will have someone like her as mother-in-law. Kilo day. I mean, I guess you shouldn't be angry with that prayer. But someone said your prayer point may be someone else's God forbid. Someone said God forbid button. When you pray for her as mother-in-law, also pray not to have a mother like her. Jesus. God forbid Iyabo and Imole's mother. Both Iyabo, Wumi, and Mohbad mother, we reject them in Jesus' name. 10 years, I know see mommy. Some people are still quoting that, even though there is an actual meaning to that verse or that line in these verses. They're still interpreting. I think there's another different meaning to that phrase, but I don't care. I don't care. You never really know what happens in people's homes and family. In life, your prayers should be for God to give you yours, not someone else. Some of the people you see as innocent are really the main problem. That's why justice is hard to get, because we think the guilty are the innocent while thinking the innocent are the guilty. Oh wow. Oh wow.
We go explain because no evidence.
No, but she's kind of right. Whoever that is, he or she, kind of right. But anyway, that's that though. Just wanted to cover a little bit of Auntie Iyabo. Let me see here. I'm catching some cruise with you guys tonight. I love it. And it's, let me see here. Okay, we might be able to cover one more thing tonight. What do you guys think about the Apostle Suleiman thing? Do you think he's innocent? Alima Abubakar has been fined about $8,000 that she has to pay. All right? Do you think he's innocent? Anyway, I'll come back to your thoughts. That's all I have for this particular segment. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. I'll be back in 20 seconds.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, so let's talk a little JAPA before we leave for the evening. There's this gentleman talking about JAPA on here. JAPA, you guys been tired. JAPA divorce, 56 years, nurse lost everything. Let's hear what he has to say.
He's a guy that has been in the UK for 17 years. This is the same guy that trained his wife through university in Nigeria. He's a guy that has settled in the UK, that has been working as a senior nurse. He's a senior currently. He was a senior nurse before his pin was taken away from him because of the situation between him and his wife. He's now living in one room in Petersburg, one single room. This is a guy that has been living in a flat. He's been living in the flat here in London. You know, 2-bedroom flat, well furnished in London here. But because of the situation, you know, because of what has happened between him and his wife, you know, not only that he lost his pin, you know, he was kicked out of the house. The guy now decided to go far away, to go to Petersburg, you know.
Far away.
The fact that you know your wife, the fact that you have been with this woman for 20 years doesn't mean she cannot cause problem for you when she gets abroad. See, this is where a problem will start. A problem will start if you have a wife that loves to keep friends. If your wife is the type that loves to keep friends, you will get issue.
Wow.
Because the moment she relocates to the UK, all she wants to think about friends, the people she can mingle with, the people she can begin to roll with, the people they can begin to go to, what is it called? Parties, buying Ashwabi together. That's the first thing that will come to her head. And before you know it, she starts to give you all sort of different kinds of behaviors, you know, in the house. This is the same woman you trained through school, you know, university back home, bringing her over here. You spent a lot of money. And then before you realize, those friends that she's been mingling with, those friends that she's been going around with, will begin to put one or two things in her brain Before you know it, you are nobody to her. Because for you as a guy to bring your woman to the UK to live,
okay, it's now circling.
Very well.
All right. What do you guys think? Let me get your thoughts. Thoughty. Let's talk about this. Let me see. Chinye say I don't think he's innocent. Talk about Apostle Sulamai, right? But you can't show evidence. Yeah, have some self-awareness. Reassess your own, the way you think about spirituality, please. All right. So I think that's a struggle for a lot of people, honestly, because of the way that we are raised. All right. Continue to work on yourself and make sure you have a good understanding of what you consider to be spirituality, so you don't end up like Alima Abubakar. Okay. All these marriages breaking up in Nigeria and JAPA cause harm. Did you have a question mark in front of them, film girl? That's what they're saying. They're saying JAPA cause harm. Dilo said they have come again. Oh, they will not say the true story. Now, so woman blame. Not just that, though. There are women blaming men too. Oh. Let's not forget that, too. But you're right. You're right. Absolutely. Friends are always blamed, not lack of skills on both parts. Yep. So we can even take that to another level. Chinye, the person that's complaining never talk about their own lack of skills. They don't, right? Because they feel like the victim. Obviously they feel hurt. So one of the hardest things for them to do is like, wait, what skill are you talking about? I was a good husband, I was a good wife. What do you mean? Kilo me skills. What are you talking about? What is all this skills nonsense that you keep talking about? That's how they feel. But you know what? They will have to argue with their destiny, because their results is clearly not what they want. And the only way to change that is to change their input. The only way to change the output is to change the input. Okay. Garbage in, garbage out. Let's see. She said yes. You say yes to the question mark. Yeah, they're saying JAPA cost some now. Yes, I'm questioning if JAPA cost AY and other marriages breaking up in Nigeria. Right. In Nigeria, right? So we've had the AY, you have the Basket Mouse, you have the Julius Agu, you have the Yule Doche, you have the Emeka Ike. That's even one is ancient. How long ago did that marriage break up, right? With very, very toxic, painful level rhetoric. You know, those ones are not JAPA. But no, they are just celebrity. We don't count those ones. People don't divorce at normal people in Nigeria. They don't. They just have side chicks. They just commit a lot of paternity fraud. May God help us. Skills cause, skills need. Exactly. That's what they will say to us. Like, you need skills or shit on back on. I mean, now say game. You need to have game. Like, what game? You don't need game. Go and sit down somewhere. It's like, okay, sure. Can you change your result? No, we're just going to pray to God until it changes. Okay? You are just a lucky one. You are just lucky. Go and sit down and beg somewhere. Now you got to teach us. What are you going to teach us? You will just come to life yesterday. Anyway, let's talk about it. I want to play it, and I want to react to every statement he made, because I already left a comment here 4 days ago. This has been on in my queue for 4 days. Yeah. All right. So the title says he lost everything 2 years after his wife. Amen. 2 years after his wife joined him in the UK. So let's hear the story.
You want her to be a better person in the future. You know, only for the woman to get to UK while I can't start.
No, wait, in this suro. That's better.
But this is a guy that has been in the UK for 17 years.
The guy has been in the UK for 17 years, okay? By the way, that is a meaningless metric. It's useless. Could need 2 more. Right? At best, maybe you have accent that sounds UK-ish after 17 years. Something small. Maybe you say in it. That's about it. Okay. For the most part, it's a useless metric. It's you don't the exotic. Okay, good. What does that have to do with marriage? Okay, let's keep going.
This is the same guy that trained his wife through university in Nigeria.
The same guy that trained his wife through university in Nigeria. This is giving Emeka Ike. Is it not? Is it me? Is it me? It's straight. Now, that is a fantastic thing to do as a man. Right? But did you not mean it when you did it? I mean, what are you expecting? You never expected it that the person will remain human being. What's going on here? Huh? You never expected it.
I never expected it.
All right. If you did anything for your spouse, good for you. What was the value in it for you when you did it for them? You didn't hear me?
Halfway.
What were you getting from it? Or what did you hope you were going to get from it when you were doing what you were doing for them? No, I'm patient. I'm waiting for you. Keep thinking about it. You were doing so. You brought her to America. What was in it for you? Don't tell me that you were doing charity work now.
Should you be that?
Was it charity? What were you looking to get out of it? Now, before everything that has happened, is this something that you were using to haunt him every day in the house, that you did paper for them, you brought them from America?
Oh my days.
No, it's just a question. I just want to clear it up before we continue. I'm patient. You can answer in the comments. But let's continue. Let's continue with this bros. This bros is telling us a story. Let's go along with it.
It's a guy that has settled in the UK, that has been working.
This guy has settled in the UK, has been working 17 years, remember?
As a senior nurse. He's a senior currently. He was a senior nurse before his pin was.
He was a senior nurse. A nurse. In his own right. And you know what? Nurse don't they collect stray bullets for so long. Why another nurse kilo day? What did these nurses do to you?
Taken away from him because of the situation between him and his wife.
What was taken away from him? The senior nurse thing was taken away from him. What are we talking about here? Let's keep going.
He's now living in one room in Petersburg. One single room. This is a guy that has been living in a flat.
He's been living in a flat. Now he's living in one room. What happened? Tell us the rest of it.
He's been living in the flat here in London.
Okay.
You know, 2-bedroom flat, well furnished.
Well furnished. What happened?
In London here.
Yes.
But because of the situation, you know, because of what has happened between him and his wife.
What happened, bros? Between him and his own wife. Let's not forget that it's his own wife, not my wife, his wife. Right? What happened between them?
You know, not only that he lost his pin.
Huh?
You know,
he lost his pin. Is that what they call it? Is that the pin? Is that senior nurse? Is that what that is? A pin? I don't know. Please enlighten me. He lost a pin. Does that mean his license is what is that? A license? A pin? What's a license? The man license was revoked. Okay. Thank you, Daddy Film Girl. Let me bring that to the screen. The man license was revoked because of the official police statement from his wife. Maybe alleged DV. Oh, say it ain't so. Wait, there was police involved? Okay, wait, let's keep going.
Oh, he was kicked out of the house.
He was kicked out of the house. What happened? I'm still waiting for what happened.
The guy now decided to go far away, to go to Petersburg, you know.
So he decided to go to Petersburg. We have a Petersburg here in Florida too, right?
The fact that you know your wife, the fact that you have been with this woman for 20 years doesn't mean she cannot cause problem for you when she gets abroad. See, this is
the fact that you've known the wife for 20 years does not mean she cannot cause problem for you. Wait. Such a profound statement.
Oh, you're right.
Such a profound statement. He said something. We can all agree to that. Just because you've known somebody all your life, like your own, even your own mother, because it's not just wife, right?
You doing what?
It's not just wife, right? Just because you know that person does not mean they cannot cause problem for you. So we're still waiting for the story, bros.
Where a problem will start.
A
problem will start if you have a wife that loves to keep friends.
What? If he loves to keep friends, is there a difference between have friends or keep friends? Is there a difference? Keep friends, have friends. Because I've seen people say I don't keep friends before, and they say it like it's a badge of honor or something like that.
You think so they're wise?
Is there a difference? Keep friend, have friend. But if you have a wife that loves to keep friends, okay, let's wait. That's when the problem starts. Okay, maybe he's going to tell us more. Let's go.
If your wife is the type that loves to keep friends, you will get issue.
Wait, just for having friends? Kilo mean? Huh? Just for having friends? So before this becomes a reality, even the idea, that theory will cause wahala.
Wala, Nigeria don't rip us, so I to go our call. Wala.
If you nurse that idea behind your head, it will cause you wahala. It will cause you wahala. Even before there's a friend, you know what you fear the most, you attract. The devil is a very powerful. Olagbara, Bokonigbala, it does not have salvation. Right? It does. And sometimes it uses ideologies behind your own head to pressurize your life.
Everything I do, I will. Pressure to what?
Did say, if I no furnish in my apartment now, wait to concern us with well furnished. I guess it was rich. They call it flat. Say flat. In UK, they call it the flat. In it. Let's keep going.
Because the moment she relocates to the UK, all she wants to think about is friends.
Wait. We're talking about two ideas now. The moment she relocates to the UK, all she wants to think about is friends. That's one idea. The other idea is that the problem starts once she starts having friends. Which one? We need to go one direction. We can't be going two directions at the same time. Now we're getting confused. Is it that let's generalize with a full chest. Every time they move to UK, they just want to have friends, or the beginning of the problem is friendship. Critical thinking is key. It's key. Now we're going two different directions. Let's see which one it goes.
People she can mingle with, the people she can begin to roll with.
Okay.
The people they can begin to go to. What is it called? Parties, buying Ashwabi together.
Okay.
That's the first thing that will come to her head.
That's the first thing that will come to her head. Save me. Somebody save me. It's not getting to the juice. I'm waiting for the rest of this story. Hopefully it gets to it. Let's keep going. Wait.
And before you know it, she starts to give you all sort of different kinds of behaviors, in the house. This is the same.
Okay, good. She start hanging out with friends. She go to parties. She want to socialize, right? Is that a crime? I'm waiting for the point where, because sometimes context we add to it and we say that it's a crime, right? Now, bad friends, yes, maybe we'll get there. Let's see.
Woman, you trained through school, university back home.
The woman that you train, the woman that you let me say it the Anambra way. The woman that you train through school. So the theory is that she can't have friends. Okay, now these friends, are they falling out of the skies? Did she meet them at work? Did she go to Starbucks and start meeting them randomly in the middle of the streets? Or these are friends from high school that she's always said, my friend lives in London. When I get there, my husband is taking me to London. When I get there, I will hang out with my friends. Right? Now, is she hanging out with these friends on every single day? That's one thing. It's one thing that she's hanging out with these friends on every single day. It's another thing that you feel like she's hanging out way too much every single day. So when you say it out of your mouth, it comes out as it's every day, right? And in your head, as a matter of fact, it feels the same. Well, what's the difference? I'm saying like she just goes out way too much. Okay, Mr. Prestige. Somebody said that in the comment the other day. I said, Mr. Prestige. I just laughed. I said, we're not going to explain tire. We're not going to explain tire now. Let's keep going.
Bringing her over here, you spend a lot of money. And then before you realize, those friends that she's been mingling with, those friends that she's been going around with, will begin to put one or two things in her brain.
Okay, those friends will continue to put one or two things in her brain. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, it's usually men that have this problem. Let me warn you. Her friends, her family members, her sisters, okay, her friends, the WhatsApp groups, okay, you're right, absolutely correct.
Oh, you're right.
You're right. These entities they have high influence over your wife. They do. They do. They do. They have very high influence over your wife. Okay. Now you have a choice. You can make a big deal out of it if you want, or just see it as life. It's just, you have friends too, Abby. If you want, you can make a big deal out of it. You know how Auntie Iyabo say, do you? Do you? Okay. Do you? Okay. But if you make a big deal out of it, it becomes a big deal. That's all. There's nothing. There's no complex formula or mathematics there. You make a big deal out of the fact that she has friends, it becomes a big deal. How? What did you say that's profound now? I know.
How, Sway?
She will multiply for you. She will help you turn it to a big deal. That's what she does best. She be incubator. Right? You have a problem with those friends? Right? Now those friends will now become a problem. Welcome to the real world. So what solution did you provide? Bashen bini new. My Yoruba is off. Bashen bini no. I can't say it in English. It will be wrong. Right? That's how you ask questions. Yeah. Now that's a fantastic question. What's the solution?
I never expected it.
How about don't make a big deal out of it? How about that one? It's too simple. It's too simple. Yeah, but they are causing problem. You don't understand. I said they are influential. That's a fact of life.
Oh, you're right.
All right. But there's a question here. All right. Are you a bigger influence on your wife, or the friends are a bigger influence on them? Right. It depends on what angle we are looking. Right. If you make a big deal out of it,
Why are you running? Why are you running?
if you make a big deal out of it, have I said that enough? Listen, you're concerned that they're influencing her. I don't see anything wrong yet, because your own friends influence you. I influence my friends. Our friends influence us, right? So if you carry certain type of, as an adult, if you carry certain type of friends, yes, they will influence you. But that is a default. And the friends you choose to have, the kind of friends she chooses to have, indicates the kind of wife you choose to have. Right? This can happen here. It can happen in Nigeria. It's not a matter of JAPA. Right? It can happen anywhere. And the further away your wife is, the higher the influence that the friends have on her. Don't you think? So a lot of these issues, gentlemen, are things that will happen in life, but you make a big deal out of them, and then they become a bigger issue for you. A lot of time when the friends are coming around, maybe I know the feeling. They're annoying. Okay, some of them can be annoying. That's the honest truth. Instead of you just to be patient, small. You make a big deal out of it, then it becomes a big deal. How do I say this? It needs to be a little more complex. I need to bring in spiritual stories and bring in miracle stories and tell you how about some Baba that she went to go see and some other afar, and then how she will end up in a problem. I should bring all that in so I can scare you more, Abi. Listen to me carefully. All you have to do is simple. Acknowledge your feeling. You feel how you feel. You feel some type of way. Maybe her friend, when she talks, maybe her mouth smell, and it irks you a little way, and you feel some type of way about her friend, her sisters, and all these places. Acknowledge your feeling. Feel how you feel. Put your hands on your chest. Then you now know. Instead of waiting until you lose your wife like AY to say these two shall pass. That was a statement that AY made today. He said these two shall pass. How about before it gets bad, just say, put your hands on your chest. Say, these two shall pass. She will come right back to you. Because her friends will go back to their own house, right? And then she will come back and tell you more story about how these friends are even terrible in the first place. But you can't wait. You want to tell her now and you want to drag the issue now. Why? Because you hear one bros on the internet tell you that the first thing that women do when they come to UK is that they start to have friends, and the beginning of the problem of your marriage is these friends. No. The beginning of the problem of your marriage is making a big deal out of the fact that a normal human being have friends that are not perfect, that of course will influence them, and they influence each other. It's what they call friendship. It's called relationships as well, right? You make a big deal out of it, and you're not going to listen right now because everything I just said does not sound complex or cruising enough for you. I'll be here. I'm patient. I'll be here. Okay. I'll come to the chat in a minute. I see that you guys are going in. I'll come to the chat. Let's see. Bros is still talking.
Before you know it, you are nobody to her. Because for you.
Before you know it, you're nobody to her. Yes. Now, everything he said, I can agree with, except that there's more to that story. Right? If you make a big deal, he didn't have that part. I'm hiding it for him. If you make a big deal out of our friendship, you become a nobody to her because you are unfit, not here. You are pressure. You are smothering her to death because of one friendship. So what does she do when you start smothering her to death like that because of a friendship? Something that's obviously temporary in nature.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
You become a nobody to her. Because you don't have self-control. You don't have emotional self-control. You get caught up in women issues. That's why. No, it's not your fault. You don't know any better. Because somebody told you that all those friends, that friend, that one, the one that bleached the other, has been bleaching the other day, the one that go to party the other day, and that one that has a side boyfriend on the other side, those are the friends you are carrying around. Let me give you a formula. Go and be saying that to your wife once she has one or two friends. Let's see how it plays out. So what are you saying? Allah, should it be that way? No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that you're going to encounter some of these issues. How you react is the only thing you can control. See, that controlling behavior of yours will work. It cannot work. It will make matters worse. Remember, it's your wife. It's not my wife. Remember, it's your wife, not my wife. So I'm not teaching you what to do. I'm just telling you exactly how it's going to play out. You make a big deal out of it, it becomes a big deal. Whereas the issue was actually lightweight in the first place. She just has the friends. Okay, the friends hurt you. Okay, good. For the most part, if you know women, it's temporary. She will forget the friend. For a whole 6 months, they won't talk. But you made a big deal out of it. Now, she's crying on the shoulder of the friend. And you now say, you're nobody in front of her eyes. Before.
You as a guy to bring your woman to the UK to live with you, that means you love the woman very well. You want her to be a better person in the future.
So, right, your wife.
You know, only for the woman to get to UK while I can't start.
Mm-hmm.
You know. They can't pursue you, come on for us, can't take your pin. Where you go start?
So they just woke up one day, they pursue you out of the house. Come take your what?
From somebody of over 50 something years. What do you say? The guy don't they reach like 56 years now. Where the guy won't start?
Where the guy won't start at 56. True word. True word.
For the place where you say they live for Petersburg, they pay like 350 for one room. This is the guy that's been living well. Big boy. He drive correct car
Big
for
boy.
For his
And just one woman came one day that he's known, his own wife, for 20 years, and flipped everything over just like that.
situation like this, some people could say, "Oh, na lie." Now the guy no dey
No, why would you say na lie? No, God forbid.
good. Now the man no dey good.
No, I will never say that too. We don't know that. He's a good man. Except that this has nothing to do with being a good man. Sorry. Sorry, oh, sorry. He has nothing to do with being a good man.
Sorry, oh.
I know he's a good man. You don't have to tell me that. That's part of the issues.
Don't get me wrong. There are some men that are so not as well.
No, that's not the angle. Most men are good people. Bros, any suru. This man is a good man. Let's stay right there, okay? Let's stick with your story. You don't have to sugarcoat or make it sound good or make you sound like you want to be on two sides at the same time. Stay right there on that side. That man is a good man. He brought his wife abroad. He overreacted to friends. Okay? That's the most we've gotten so far. Right? He made a big deal out of some friendship. Right? So now everything between making a big deal and then him sleeping in one room is what we're trying to figure out right now. But because it looks like people just jump from friendship straight to living in one room. And this kind of Nollywood movie, they don't make them anymore. Let's keep going.
Every man, if you are going to bring your wife to come live with you in the UK, you got to be very careful.
You got to be careful.
You must make sure you know the woman very well.
Make sure you say you know the woman very well. Okay, I don't really know what that means, by the way. What does that mean, to know the woman? After 20 years, how much do you want to know? Know the woman very well. Knowing in the Bible means you're benching with them, right? Is that what he's talking about? What exactly is he talking about? Knowing them very well. Like know their family, know their ancestors. Exactly what is he talking about? Because that sounds very vague.
You must make sure say you know say that woman will say you want bring. Don't be that type of woman who say when she enter UK, she go begin mingle with different kinds of friends.
So basically the solution would be, before you bring your woman to overseas, go to Nigeria first. Say you no go have friend though when you get to overseas. Oh, no friend. My husband, what do you mean no friends? Only kilo mean no friends. So I cannot have any friends at all. What about my friends that went to high school together that has been living in external of exit of the other side of London for about 10 years? We always fantasized that one day we'll be together again. So I cannot have friends. Gentlemen, in your mind, how do you think this conversation is going to pan out? I'm just wondering. So, put your foot down. Don't you have control over your woman and tell her she cannot have friend? I'm just trying to figure out what exactly is this brother talking about right now. How does that play out? This is what I mean by we need real examples. People talk in generals, and then when it comes down to application, we're lost. Everybody's lost. They just make one statement on the internet and then we're lost. Kilo mean. Can she not have friends?
Where they go party, very soon she not going to listen to you.
If she goes party, very soon she not going to listen to you. No, somebody will explain this to me. All right, let's see.
She going to go party this weekend, go leave the kids, going to go party next week.
Okay.
I'm not saying to go to party is bad, but your
bros, he's not saying to go to party is not bad though. So let's hear it.
Family first. This is a guy that.
All right, so family first. Family first. Okay, so pardon my manners. Let me come to the chat. What's going on, Simisola? How are you? Let's see. D-Love say, come and carry your Igbo brother, I beg. Is he Igbo? This guy sound like Yoruba or a Ghanaian to me. Actually, more like a Yoruba man. Well, Brother Ben is here. Well, Brother Allah, I don't think you should discard everything he's describing. No, he's right. Let me see. You see my comment? You see my comment? My comment say, you know lie, my G. But tell us the rest of the what? What happened between the friendship, the new friendship, and him living in one room? You know he's a good man. I want to know all the good deeds, at least all the good deeds that he did. I'm not being sarcastic, I'm real. Usually these issues are happening to good men. It has nothing to do with being a bad man outside of cheating, because women will never agree with you that cheating makes you a good person. Okay. Right? But I'm saying the fact that he's a good man, an upstanding man, go to work, take care of himself, has a car, has a house, a nice living well, remember, furnished flat. Of course he's a good man. But what happened between the friendship and living in the room? Are we not going to get the rest of that story? Why is it that they always conveniently leave that part of the story out, is the question. Why? How do you leave the most important part of the story out, is what I'm asking, Brother Ben. So I'm not discarding anything. He discarded the majority of the story. Where's the story? Because I still think the man is a good man. Where's the rest of the story so we can actually assess the situation? Because as you can see in a second here, you will see that the chat will conclude off of the story that we never heard. The only thing we know is that if you create friendship, it's like a lesson. If you have a wife that will have friendship, you will start having problems in your family. Does that really make any sense? Just by itself. I'm just asking. I'm just trying to learn. Sometimes the ladies come over and mingle with the wrong crowd. Yes. Now the question is that who determines what a wrong crowd is? Clearly not her. Let's think about it deeply, right? Clearly she's mingling with these people she doesn't think is the wrong crowd. So all by yourself as a husband, you determine that that's the wrong crowd. So how do you address that? You can see clearly you're the husband. You can see where it's going because you listen to one bros on the internet one day say, watch out for friendship. So you can see that this is going to turn out bad. So you figure out that this is a wrong crowd. So now how do you address this with your wife? She feels she clearly doesn't feel it's a wrong crowd. You feel it's a wrong crowd. These bros did not tell us how to handle that. If you figure out it's a wrong crowd and she doesn't think it's a wrong crowd, these bros did not tell us now. Oku or Iku. If we can get these bros to come and tell us at least that part, I think it may be a little bit more complete. Right? But I said we should be paying attention to the men too. Many folks are enduring emotional abuse. This man has not told us anything for us to make the conclusion of emotional abuse. Okay? As a matter of fact, this bros has attempted at emotionally abusing me by telling me this story to trigger me because I'm a man. And naturally, I want to take sides with my brothers. Like, kill me. Just kicked out like that. I want to overreact too. It's craziness, right? But then I calm down, say, let me stay calm. Some of us have to stay calm. Say, where's the rest of the story so we can assess this properly now? So I feel like this man is emotionally abusing me personally. I'm just letting you know. Let's not make it seem with their stories are bogus. T for thanks, according to my policewoman, Chidima. Anyway, I'm just waiting for the rest of the story. That's all. Film Girl says, exactly. How about you influencing your wife and also influence her friends? Influence. You cannot kill influence. Unless you just want to buy or you want somebody in slavery. Influence is a real part of life. All we're asking you to learn is how it works and how you can navigate it and use it in your favor and in the favor of your loved ones, as opposed to controlling behavior. That's all we're saying. Our friends influence her. Yes, that's a fact of life. So I absolutely did not dismiss what he said. That is a fact of life. She's going to have friends, co-workers. They will say things to her. Sometimes our parents will say the things that will trigger her. But does she deem you someone she can come back home to cry on your shoulder? Abi, you want to become the enemy by making a big deal out of it. These are the kind of things we don't think about, right? We just want to sympathize with the person that's complaining. If I sympathize with you that your wife kicked you out of your house, does that solve your problem? I'm asking, does it solve it? You go still collect because you learn nothing out of me sympathizing with you. You go still collect. JAPA marriage. Anyway, thank you for that film, girl. Yeah. The funny thing is that men don't realize that women don't even listen to each other like that. Like that. You have no influence over the friends. That's the issue. You should ask yourself, how come? It's not blaming yourself. It's holding yourself accountable. It's becoming responsible for your reality. Me, Ola. How did your friend have more influence over you than me? Like, bring in some level of arrogance into that conversation. Me, Ola Maje, your friend, I love your friend too. Your friend gone safe. Na part, I marry all of Unakari. Influence comes from here, not the other way around. How did you end up in a situation where the influence of the friend beat yours is the question. These are the questions they never ask. Because why? Because a woman should just know that family come first. So you end up preaching to the choir. She's just confused.
Not be juju be that.
She already knows that. It's just that she's confused. She's just trying to run away from you now because you're smothering her to death, frankly. Not because you're an evil person. It's because you don't know any better. You just try to say, hey, I heard something. All of these bad friends in London will break your home. Oh. Run away from them. And then she's like, you, I smell controlling behavior. Why are you saying that?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Honestly, even my own 5-year-old daughter will say that. She will do that I just did. Like, you sound controlling. Can't have friends? Ujaboni, Eshisoni, bros. Okay, actually, most men talk like that, and it's terrible. That's why they're losing their wives. I'm sorry, okay? It's sad that it's happening, but if you don't want to listen, if you are coconut head, what do you want me to do? All I can do is do these shows, and hopefully you gather some sense from it. Do the math. How did you end up having lower influence over your wife than her friends that she really doesn't listen to anyway? That's a question, you know. I meant the husband has more influence over the wife than her friends. Yeah. Sorry, sis, I disagree. Husbands have no influence on any woman who doesn't want to be influenced. Oh, but Ben, this rhetoric here is going in the direction of you need permission from a woman in order to lead her. Abort mission. Don't do it. A woman need to allow you to lead her before you can lead her. Abort mission. Let's not go that direction. We not go stop tonight. Oh, Jamila Raje.
Oh, Jamila Raje.
No, a leader does not need permission in order to lead. Two things: you need a paycheck, or you need your ability to influence. Okay, all right. A paycheck, that means don't come and be asking her, oh, so you can respect your boss, but you don't come and respect me. Don't be comparing paycheck to. Stop. Abort mission. Okay, that's a paycheck that she's obedient to. That's a misaligned comparison. Kojora one. Husband has no influence on any woman who doesn't want to be. The apps. Let's get to this influence thing. What is influence? Okay, let me ask the almighty Google. Let's see what the first thing that Google says. I'm breathing hard. I'm about to lose my shit. Oh God. I'm rounding up. I have to round up now. Influence is the capacity to have an effect on the character, development or behavior of someone or something and the effect itself. There's no place where it says that someone or that something must give you the permission to influence. That would discombobulate the meaning of influence. Ladies, this goes for you as well. You have influence over your husband. It's either you know how to or you don't know how to. And if you don't know how to, you hold your chest and say, I don't know how to, and seek help. Ask questions. Okay? Ask questions. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, so let me calm down. I need water. I need to bring water into these sessions. Jesus Christ. All right, so let's keep going. The funny thing is that men don't. Okay, we already covered that. Okay, we already covered that. Let's see. All right. Film guy said, when you intentionally find a woman you can easily control, you set yourself up for failure. Yes. The same easy control is what the devil will use to destroy you. Yes. Film girl, where have you been to? Where are you getting this out of? A friend will easily influence her too. Because influence is much more sustainable, easier if you know what you're doing, sustainable over time, right? And when I say sustainable, I mean like it goes deep. Like once you create damage, it's very difficult to come out of it. And control is that you can control her for it now. You can say, hey, sit out there. You cannot have friends. That can only last for so long, right? But when you have influence over her, right, she actually will read you. She will know if you think it's a wrong crowd or not. And she probably generally won't carry that kind of friends anyway, just because you have that influence. But that's going to take some work, some patience. You have to be patient with yourself too. We won't have time for patience, all right? Yeah, we'll see. We're there here. We talk about these stories all the time, okay? You see me analyze AY's comments. You see me analyze Bola Nollywood's comments. You see me analyze Yul Edochie's comments. From the beginning, have I been wrong? Have I been right or right? Right. Once you know it, it becomes predictable. You use it in your favor. You use to keep your wife to yourself, all to yourself. Okay? I'm a woman now. Dila say, how about Braben? I'm a woman now. Women don't really influence each other like that. In fact, there has to be a crack in the wall for a woman to run to her friends. That's a fact. That is a fact. There has to be a crack in your relationship for those influence to take a place of stake in your relationship like that. You have to allow it. Okay, now you don't need her to allow you to influence, but you have to allow the influence of the friends, because she's married to you. She's your wife at the end of the day. That means you had some type of influence, and you probably lost your power because you're busy making a big deal out of things that will happen naturally. Like people will have friends, and sometimes they will have friends that they can't keep for long. They will test it themselves. They will feel it to burn them. They will remove their hands. But you're not patient. You're not patient. Not patience, Derek. You're not patient with a T. Anyway, let me see here. What else here do we have here? So, influence is the capacity to have an effect on someone. Okay? Or even the effect itself. Okay? The effect itself is called influence. Okay? There's the art of influence. Okay, there's how to influence, how to win and influence friends, I think, by Dale Carnegie. It's a book I suggest heavily. If you've read my book, you see me suggest behind the scenes. It's a book that I read on a flight to Nigeria. Changed my life. I will never ask you for permission to allow me to lead you and influence you. That's just what? No. You can call it arrogance, you can call it pride, you can call it whatever you want. But me, I recognize that it's influence. And I just won't do that. I refuse to do that. Okay? Yes, Adeyemi, influence is stronger than control. It's much more sustainable. In life, not to say that book is bae. How to influence and win if you get this book, download it for free. You can see it's downloaded for free on Man of Prestige. You will see us recommend it. We recommended it on the second book too, the number 1 red flag. The name of the book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. It will help your marriage. It will help you in the corporate world. You will stop overstretching, overworking your brain, trying to control other human beings. It doesn't work. If it works, it's temporary. And when it fails, you have to do 10 times the amount of work. You'll crumble eventually. All right. So what did we learn today? Let's do a quick wrap up of what we learned today. Let me do this. I'll be back in 20 seconds.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, good. So, your kids versus your spouse. Kids versus your spouse. Should you pick your kids over your spouse? Logic says, not logic per se. That's not logic. Common sense says pick your kids over your spouse, especially if you have any type of experience in this life. That means you probably don't collect shege from somebody. Common sense would tell you to pick your kids over your spouse. Okay, and by the way, you might have married women, sort of like Mary Njoku, that may even tell you that's the right thing to do. Just look at them sideways and say, okay, thank you, auntie. Let's get back to logic, actual logic. Logic is not logic if you discount emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is part of logic. Anybody who discounts emotional intelligence is not a logical person. Okay, they are not a critical thinker. Okay, so in that respect, if you understand the idea of a family unit or a virtual family unit, in case you've gone through divorce before, as long as there's no criminal behavior on anybody's part, it's just that it did not work, right? In that case, there is small love that flows to the kids when you maintain a united front with your spouse or your ex-spouse. You have to maintain a united front because they feel that love and it helps them in their life. So overall, you end up delivering more value to those kids and especially yourself, because then you don't tamper with your own soft life over a long period of time. In the short period of time, it feels, because when you're coming from a place of hurt, it feels like you should protect yourself. The reality is that you can only protect yourself with social emotional intelligence, self-awareness, power intelligence, the power of seduction, the heart of seduction, right? That's the only way to protect yourself. The idea of protecting yourself with police and all this pragmatic stuff, seizing paperwork and then hiding and trying to control the other person, all this craziness you bring into your world, calling the in-laws, extended family on your situation, is just going to make matters worse for yourself. There's some things you need to learn. It starts with self-awareness, self-empowerment, self-esteem, self-love, self-respect. If you can't give at this level I'm talking about, it's because you're not giving enough to yourself. Okay? You've lost yourself. The first step is to regain yourself and your own power back. Okay? So that's the first lesson that we learned today. The other lesson is this. Everybody gets to do themselves. We're having a conversation in the backstage earlier on, and somebody said, I should speak to some things. There's some B4 ideology. I said, I don't speak to ideology. Anybody can do any ideology they want. I consider Auntie Iyabo's ideology, I don't want marriage as an ideology. I can't argue with her. She gets to do what she wants as an adult. Okay? But I expanded the conversation a little bit beyond that. Right? There's some things that are much more powerful left unsaid. Right? You don't need to shoot yourself on the legs just in case this man will fall in love extra and decide he wants marriage, but now he's scared because you've been running your mouth that you don't want marriage. Calm down. You need the structure, you need the institution, but the institution is useless if you don't learn the skills to make it work, like in any other institution. So you cannot blame the institution. Also, if you're operating from a place of fear, you will shoot yourself on the legs just by operating. So, and I know we do that naturally. If you've gone through some experience, you just operate from a place of fear in efforts to protect yourself. I get it. I completely get it. But you got to think a little bit beyond that. You got to think a little bit deeper. Critical thinking with a very nice dose of emotional intelligence before you make some of this assertion that comes from where we all come from, common sense. Common sense, they collect woto on this platform. It just doesn't work because we all have it, and clearly it's not working for most people. You have to have some critical thinking with emotional intelligence. All right. The second thing for the JAPA story, JAPA is the context. Okay, context does matter. Okay, but certain context will expose the problem in your marriage. Okay, there was problem in your marriage already. JAPA does not create marriage problems. It exposes the problems in the marriage. Okay, so and when it makes sense for you to try the idea of controlling the types of friendship your wife or your spouse go with, you will shoot yourself on the legs. Okay, if you are that good of a spouse, a husband, a wife, you're the best friend. If you're not the best friend, work on that. Take your focus away from the other friendship. You will push your spouse away to them, so you will make the problem bigger than what it was in the first place. But shout out to all of you. I appreciate all of you. Hopefully you guys have been enlightened. Shout out to Misty, who came in last minute. You can watch the replay. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. I'll drop a ton of video tomorrow, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.